So there's a bunch of things as business owners you don't know. I see people do over and over again, which will just delay your success or delay how fast you can scale your business up. Things like ignoring your numbers or not knowing them in the first place, neglecting your team or accepting a mediocre team, overlooking the customer experience, like not fulfilling at the level you should be for your customers. Then it's fear of failure, which I don't understand. If you already started a business, you're afraid to scale it up. And then neglecting your marketing and sales aspect as a whole, the whole process of you acquiring clients. I see too many business owners neglect that, or they don't put enough focus on it, especially when they're trying to scale. And if you're someone who's really looking to scale, that's not something you should be doing. If you're someone who's really looking to get to the 500, $1 million a month in your business, you cannot ignore these things. Subscribe, like, share, all that good noise. Let's dive in. All right, let's dive in. So most business owners are usually too focused on just, growing, scaling, revenue, all this stuff. They begin ignoring some of the most important factors that actually contribute to growing and scaling a business, right? Especially in the online space. Now, this is especially true for entrepreneurs who are just starting out and they have no choice but to wear all the hats, right? They're doing the sales, marketing, operations, systems, hiring, recruiting, fulfilling deliverables. They're doing literally every single thing, right? Let alone they're trying to build a brand and they have to do content. It's crazy. And what's crazy is these entrepreneurs might even have like a home run offer, right? Like a service that a lot of businesses are looking for, but because they maybe unknowingly are committing these mistakes on a regular basis, unfortunately, they'll never get that business to its true full potential. Now, I know there's a lot of other things besides these 5 things I'm going to go over here today that can contribute to not growing or not scaling or not bringing in money or losing money. But these should be glaringly obvious. So let's break these down. First and foremost, ignoring your numbers. This is a sin, not just a mistake. Your numbers don't lie. Ignoring financial data is like driving blindfolded. You have to know your cost of acquisition. You have to know your LTV. You have to know your how much it costs you to book a call, how much, all this stuff, right? Cost per lead, every single thing. All right. Track your key metrics, revenue, expenses, even your profit margins. And if you're just starting out, your profit margins are pretty high. But you have to track every single thing to steer your business in the right direction. Don't just look at just the bottom line or just the top line. I see too many business owners get focused on just that. Dive deep into the numbers, identify your trends, right? Trends within your company, the opportunities and the potential problems that might come up, and then use your financial data, right? Your numbers to make informed decisions moving forward. Number 2 is neglecting your team. These are people who fucking believe in you. These are people who have made the quote unquote bet that you and your business is going to make it, especially if it's like your first 1, 2, or 3 hires. They're your greatest asset. So you have to invest in their growth, provide them clear expectations, give them solid SOPs, and then foster a positive work environment. One of the biggest things I see business owners ignore is the culture within their team. Your culture will determine how mentally they show up on a daily basis for you. All right. So you have to make sure your culture is solid. And then delegation, you have to be like king of delegation as a business owner. You have to delegate effectively and you have to empower your team members. Don't make them relying on you. Vice versa. Like you should empower them so much that they should have all the answers that almost you have, right? Each department. And, obviously help them celebrate their successes. A happy team equals a successful business. If you see someone on your team that isn't happy or isn't satisfied with what they're doing, approach that, like tackle that right away. Don't just brush it under the rug or don't like, I'll just replace him. Don't do that, right? These are your greatest assets. Number 3, overlooking customer experience. Customer satisfaction is the lifeblood of your business. If you want something long-term, you have to make sure every customer is getting as much attention as needed and the best results that you can possibly provide them. So go beyond meeting expectations. You have to make them happy. You have to make them delighted. Like they're just, this was the best decision I ever made. That's what they need to be thinking, right? A month or 2 months down the line. Implement systems to gather customer feedback and act on it. Constantly have, whether you have an account executive, a closer do this, or yourself or a head coach, constantly have someone reaching out to make sure they're good and whether or not they need anything. And then you have to use those customer insights to improve your product or improve your service or whatever it is that you're selling. Next is fear of failure. Failure is not the enemy. Fear of it is. Failure is going to come whether you like it or not. Your goal is just to learn from it, right? Instead of taking that L as a loss, use that L as a lesson learned. So embrace the challenges as opportunities for growth. And I'll give you a solid example. In July of 2024, one of my ad accounts got hacked, and someone ran ads for like 5K a day selling some shoes, and it wasn't me, obviously. And I reached out to Meta and all that, and the biggest thing wasn't like they ran some ads and cost me some money. I'll get that back, but the biggest thing for me was now my ad account I couldn't use to advertise myself, so I had to go now pay an agency to uh, use their ad accounts to advertise on my behalf. So it was just a whole mess where 2 or 3 weeks I didn't do any paid ads and I couldn't. And, new clients stopped coming in. So what that helped me do is we went really heavy into cold email outbound and cold DM outbounds. So again, a lot of challenges are going to come your way in business, no matter what level you are, and you just have to look at it as a lesson learned, and you have to look at them as opportunities, right? Break down your bigger goals into smaller achievable steps, celebrate your small wins, and build momentum. Learn from the setbacks. I don't care whether your account gets hacked, shut down, whatever. Learn from the setbacks, analyze what went wrong, and just improve in the future. That's it. And last but not least is neglecting marketing and sales. Should be glaringly obvious, but for some reason it's not. Marketing and sales are the engines of your business. Without these two departments, your business will cease to exist. Period. End of story. Invest in both consistently. That means your sales team, training them, and run paid ads or your outbound or whatever it is that you're doing. Build a strong brand identity and create compelling content to attract your target audience. And this is more for someone that wants to build a brand or, is looking to use content as leverage, which I 100% advise. And then nurture leads through effective sales funnels and sales processes. And, you can close deals effortlessly. But again, without marketing and sales, if you just sell one person and now you're just 100% focused on fulfillment for them because they paid you 10K, that's bad. You have to focus on your marketing and sales. Without that, your business will cease to exist. Now, I know for some of y'all, this might be glaringly obvious, but I see this over and over again. That's it for this one. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.